Hey fellas, how you doing? It's Johnny. In this video, actually I wanted to do this video for a long time, just haven't got around to doing it. So I've been working lately with a lot of men on my 6 weeks program in central London. This has been ongoing for a long time now. I don't know how long has it been since I've changed, since I made a transformation and I evolved my teaching. Almost 2 years now I think, maybe a year and a half. And the common sticking point that I see with men that is causing them so much unhappiness in their life and so much pain is being out of alignment, not being in alignment in every area of their life. So let me just explain. Sorry, I'm a bit tired. So, for example, most of the guys I work with have got good jobs. They make a good living, so financially they're doing well. And most of the guys I work with have a girlfriend or are dating women. So on the surface, it looks like life is going great, and they also dress well, intelligent guys. So from one angle, you could easily say that they've got everything that a man could want to be happy, but they're suffering inside. And I know all about this myself, when I was in this place myself about 3-4 years ago. And I mean, I don't even know where to start, because I have this conversation, I've been having this every week, so I'm just really going to have the same conversation with anyone who's watching this video now, because I'm presuming if you come on YouTube, you're probably struggling in an area in your life of alignment, and social anxiety plays a big part in that. Childhood trauma, all the things that I teach on the channel, social confidence, relationships, attracting the right girlfriend, money, all these things that are important to people. But the thing I'm realizing from teaching and helping other men, I'm realizing myself, is that you can't find full fulfillment in material things. You can't find self-love in how much money you make, in where you live, or the woman you date. And actually this is what came out with a lot of guys I work with. When I have conversations and I'm life coaching and talking to them, they say that they don't trust themselves. So that's it. That's where you're out of alignment. If you don't trust yourself, and I know, coming from someone, I didn't usually trust myself as well. When you don't trust yourself, you don't trust anyone. So you're not going to trust the woman that you're dating. You're not going to trust people in business. You're not going to trust your family. You're always going to have social anxiety. And what I do is, what I help you to do in my 6 weeks program is to help people to identify areas in their life where they're not being truthful. So it makes complete sense. It's a puzzle. So when you're out of alignment, and out of alignment, as far as I'm aware of, is just another word for really being dishonest. Dishonest is not a nice word. It sounds quite derogatory, but it's true. If I get straight to the point, people are living a dishonest life. The dishonesty, from what I can see of all the guys I work with, and of course I know this because I worked on me, I had the same problem before I changed. The dishonesty is being rationalised in the addictions. So there's men I work with, I kind of had this conversation with them. At some point we always get to this conversation, and I'll always say, where are you addicted? So pornography is one of the addictions, and that may sound very trivial. So you might think, porn's not that bad, you're not a dishonest person if you watch porn. Hang on a second, listen up. So they're watching pornography, and also they're not honest in their relationship with their girlfriend. So they will tell me every part of their relationship, how they feel about their girlfriend, how they're not happy or what they're not happy about their girlfriend, but they won't tell this to their girlfriend's face. So they're not even honest in their relationships with their girlfriend. Of course you're going to be really unhappy. You're not going to have a connection. They're also not being honest with themselves. This is where a lot of the pain's coming from, and the distrust comes from not opening up. So the distrust that really is projected on other people is coming from yourself. That's how I felt before I went and did the work with Jeff about 3 years ago. I just got to a stage in my life I didn't trust anyone. I felt really depressed. I just felt I couldn't trust anyone, family, friends, life. And that was because I didn't trust myself. My actions were determining that. So I'm just really making men aware that you're not going to ever trust yourself if you are addicted. Pornography, jealousy, it's basically an addiction to what I said before in the other videos, wearing a social mask. So you're not presenting your real self. And I understand the pain of that because I've been through that for many years. And it's easier said than done. But the rewards are life-changing. And the reward is self-love. And self-love is not something to understand intellectual. To attain self-love, you have to quit your addictions. You have to stop pornography. And a lot of men will say, but porn's not that bad. You've got to understand something. If you're going through social phobia, social anxiety, and you don't trust people, and you've got high amounts of jealousy, you're carrying a past trauma, watching porn is catastrophic. I think it's bad for everyone, but especially for guys like myself, who are ex-sufferers of anxiety, depression. I've made a full recovery, and this is what I do. I do my best to help people in my 6 weeks program to make this transformation. So it's just being addicted in so many places, and if you're addicted in one area, it's what's called a spiritual leak or a character flaw. It shows that you're going to be addicted in other areas. So the junk food, the porn, the paranoia, the addicted to jealousy, addicted to people pleasing, addicted to being unfaithful in your relationships, cheating on different women, addicted to manipulation. These are all, as I said before, the lower frequency behaviours, and it's not the true self. When I say it's not the true self, it's not anyone's true self, because no one is born like that, and that's not the true identity. This is the protected identity that is basically protecting you from love. So you're putting yourself, you're creating this. I say this to all the guys I work with, and I know this for a fact, because as I said, I went through the same transformation, and I did it unconscious trauma, fears, insecurities. So in relation to attracting the right woman, you're never going to attract the right woman if you don't build trust in yourself. You won't be able to trust a woman. So you may be able to sleep with her and have casual fun, but you're always going to have, that's how I felt, you're always going to feel empty and distrust, and you're always going to feel paranoid. You're always going to feel, is someone going to betray me? Because all of that paranoia, distrust it's an indication that it's coming from you. So what I've been saying to the men is, and what I've been teaching on the program, is a practical process that will heal you, and for you personally, because me saying it isn't enough. I can say to you, I feel self-love every day, I feel great in myself, very relaxed. But if you don't experience it, it doesn't mean anything. You're just hearing me say it. So for the guys that I work with who make this transformation, they feel it, they experience it. So self-love is experiential, and it's a way of living. It's basically living with integrity. So just for a second, to do away with the spiritual language, because I love spirituality, men are unhappy in their life because they're living a dishonest life. They're in the wrong relationships with the wrong woman. They don't have a good relationship with themselves. They don't trust people. When we don't trust people, because I had years of it, we can't connect. We actually cut off connection. Connection is love. All these areas, self-love, self-esteem, unconsciously we need this. So that's why a lot of men I talk to, and I can see it, and I sympathise, empathise with them, because I was there myself. They're kind of saying, I don't understand, I make good money. They're trying to rationalise it. I have a girlfriend, we get on quite well. It's okay, it could be better. I have this, I have a place to stay. But they're deeply, deeply unhappy. And that's how I was. I had a posh apartment, I had all this women validation. I've got rid of all of that. It's the best I've ever felt. Now, I just wrote in a beautiful article, and I explained there's nothing wrong with aspiring to make money and be an entrepreneur or succeed. I'm fully for that. I do that myself. There's nothing wrong with wanting to go out and desire and get a beautiful woman. But this should be secondary to relationship with yourself. Think about it. If you can't trust yourself, if you can't rely on yourself, how are you going to rely on anyone as a grown man? So this is really where the conflict's happening, and this is why all the material gains are not going to help. However, when you get yourself right and you're congruent and you're aligned, you will appreciate the material more. you'll know that it's secondary, but you'll appreciate it more. You'll be able to sleep better at night. Your anxiety will go, your low self-esteem. So it's very simple what I teach. I help people to identify where they're not being congruent in their life. And from my experience in helping men are usually shocked themselves when we go through this process together and we build a relationship and I help them, support them, and they bring out their own answers. They're shocked at how many areas that they're lying. And one of my students said something key. He said, I can't, but the most hurtful thing is I've been lying to myself. I'm not expressing myself in work. I'm not doing the job that I want. I'm not doing what I know I can do. So for me personally, to add on to self-love is the practice of integral living. Through the practice of integral living, you identify who you are. And it's also, for me, this is just my own take on this, because what I'm teaching is not mine, it's many teachers that I've tapped into. It's, these are universal truths about love, connection, and alignment, aligning to who you are and building your relationships from that place. So you're aligned, you're honest, you meet your girlfriend, she's honest. You've got a nice relationship with your family, with your friends, with your business partners, how you do business. And I was saying to one of my friends, because he works in his company, if you run a business and you don't have integrity and you're lying and using tricks, your business is not gonna last. Well, it may last for a while, but you're not gonna be happy. And I've seen many examples of businesses that go down because they're not built on the right foundation. They're using, they're not being integral with the values that they're using. So it's gonna show eventually, it's gonna collapse. In the same way, if we're not integral in ourselves, our body is going to break down. We're going to get illness, we're going to get anxiety, depression, and it all comes back to, and again, some men would deny it, this is social anxiety. This is what social anxiety causes. It's obviously an unconscious fear of abandonment, which is rationalized through subpersonalities that are protecting you, really protecting you and doing you no favors. It's an illusion that they're protecting you, but they're harming you. So you have to break the illusion that you've created from your insecurity, which is understandable, and rationalized personalities are there to help you for a certain amount of time, but you're not meant to stay in these personalities forever, because you're going to get a lot of pain. It doesn't matter how many. That's what happened to me. I slept with loads of women. It made no difference in the end. At first it was great. So this is really about the control of the ego. When you live like this, there's nothing, you're not a monk, you're not uncivilized, it's beautiful. You can enjoy your life, you can make money, you can go out, you can enjoy it, but you're an honest person. And all the guys I work with are lovely people, lovely men, all honest men in the making, but their pain's coming from their dishonest living, and all their relationships represent that. And it first starts with themselves, because it's the law of attraction. What you put out, you get back. So the solution is to stop the addictions. If you can't stop one addiction like porn, you're going to struggle to stop addictions like cheating, jealousy, and lying. Because cheating was something I was addicted to years ago, and I would never have admitted and said I've got a problem with cheating, because it's just too hurtful. But now I've come away and I'm not cheating no more. I look back and say, yeah, my old identity was a cheat. I couldn't stand that guy. So the self-hate and that aggression, resentment towards yourself, that's because you're not being yourself. And the only way to be yourself is to know yourself and stop being the selves that you're not, and personalities, and then you're going to build social confidence in all your relationships. You're going to feel amazing. And this is really what I wanted to explain. I still feel like I haven't really fully explained what I mean, because it's through a video, I'm using language, but this is through a practical process, like building confidence. You have to feel it, don't you? You have to experience it. So this is really what I've been teaching. I've been finding when the guys do start doing it, they make amazing changes. I had a student say to me, when I first came to you, I thought it was just about getting better with women. That's what I initially came for. But I've realised now it's got nothing to do with that. That's secondary. I can meet women now. I feel so much more confident in myself. I feel more relaxed. I don't hate people. I don't hate myself. So all this projected hate from social phobia is the addictions. The addictions is causing the pain. The porn, the jealousy, the paranoia, avoidance, junk food, avoiding social situations. So in order to not avoid social situations, you do the internal work behind the scenes. You do your best to clean up as much as you can, all of it. The porn, the bad eating, the talking about people behind their back, being hateful, racist, all these tendencies that are not good. They're low frequency, they're fear, they offer no value, no self-esteem. You work on them, you start meeting people and practicing a lot of the videos we've got on YouTube, you're gonna feel fantastic. And then, yeah, of course you can go out if you're single, meet a woman, and you'll get into the right relationship. And I think a lot of men, and I went through this myself, are frightened of letting go of the relationships that they've got, that they're not enjoying, because unconsciously they think they're not good enough to go out and form good relationships. And that's actually couldn't be nothing further from the truth, because I had the same fear and I overcome it. So that's why I can speak with such confidence on this topic, and I'm so passionate about helping people with this, because I've battled with it for years and I've overcome it. And I'm still in recovery, and by that I mean I still have to live a disciplined life, which I love. It's not a chore for me. It makes life worth living, and it gives me a foundation. It protects me, and I needed that. I was a very dysfunctional man, very violent, very addicted. So I've done the extreme now. I've become addicted to virtue, addicted to integrity, addicted to love, addicted to passion, everything good. That's all I surround myself in my life, and around good people. So I hope that's going to help you enjoy the process. So by the way, because I wrote an amazing article about this topic in more detail, if you want to read it, go to my blog, www.johnnyberba.com, and I nearly forgot my own website address, can you believe it? I am tired. Go to my website, check out the blog, and I talk about this and I go in further detail. Maybe if you read it, it might stick better, because I feel in this video I feel I didn't fully get across in the way I wanted to. It felt better when I actually read the article, so check out the article. But the main gist of it is straighten your life out, identify where you're addicted, stop being addicted, and go and socialise and build confidence in good relationships.